Ladies and gentlemen, today we gather to declare war, not on a nation, not on a people, but on the invisible enemy that has enslaved more dreams, crushed more ambitions, and broken more spirits than anything else in the world. That enemy is fear, and today, you and I together, we will learn how to destroy fear forever. Let us begin. Before we begin, I invite you to take decisive action, an action that aligns with the success principles you're about to learn. Tap the like button as a show of commitment to your own growth. Subscribe to this channel to surround yourself daily with the influences that will shape your destiny. Click the bell icon so that no opportunity for advancement passes you by unnoticed. And share this message with others, for success grows greater when it is multiplied among those you care about. Success demands action. Take that first step right now. Fear is not a tangible enemy. It is not something you can touch, hear, or see. It is a product of thought, nothing more. Fear is a state of mind, and every state of mind is subject to our control and direction. No matter how real fear feels in the moment, it is illusion unless we give it power through our acceptance of it. Most people go through life imprisoned by fears that exist only in their imagination. They allow a shadow to dictate their actions, their dreams, their entire existence. They shrink their ambitions, compromise their desires, and even sabotage their own happiness, all because of a phantom that has no more substance than a wisp of smoke. The moment you recognize fear for what it truly is, a thought, an emotional state, and nothing more, you strip it of the authority it never rightfully had. Understand this: your mind is a fertile garden. Whatever you plant will grow. If you plant seeds of fear, you will reap anxiety, hesitation, and defeat. But if you plant seeds of courage, confidence, and faith, you will harvest strength and unstoppable momentum. Fear can only thrive in the soil of a mind left unguarded and unmanaged. A gardener who tends his mind with care has no room for the weeds of fear. Every single successful person you have ever admired, every leader, every creator, every innovator, has stood at the crossroads of fear and courage. They understood that fear would knock at the door, but they also knew they had the final say whether to open it. They trained themselves to reject fear, to treat it as an unwelcome guest, not a permanent resident. You and I have the same power. Fear may enter your mind, but it is your choice whether it stays. You can recognize fear for the lie it is. You can talk back to it. You can say, "You are not real. You are a thought, and I control my thoughts. I refuse to give you power." In that moment, you are no longer a victim. You are the master. The first step toward the destruction of fear is the understanding that it was never stronger than you. It only appeared so when you forgot that you were the master of your mind. Begin today by standing guard at the gateway of your thoughts. Know that fear is a suggestion, not a command. Know that you were born with dominion over your own spirit, your own thinking, your own destiny. And when you fully accept that truth, fear cannot stand against you. Fear often holds its greatest power when it remains hidden, vague, and undefined. It creeps into our minds silently, shaping our choices and paralyzing our ambitions without ever revealing its true form. It is like a shadow in the dark, unknown, shapeless, and because of that, far more frightening than it deserves to be. The first act of courage is to drag fear out of the shadows and into the light, to confront it directly, to look it in the eye and call it by its name, because when we name our fear, we strip it of its mystery, and when the mystery is gone, so too is much of the power it holds over us. There are 6 basic fears that poison the lives of men and women: the fear of poverty, the fear of criticism, the fear of ill health, the fear of loss of love, the fear of old age, and the fear of death. Every other fear can be traced back to one of these 6 roots. They are ancient enemies passed down from generation to generation, and they have embedded themselves deep in the human psyche. But no enemy can be conquered until it is identified. No war can be won until the opponent is known. If you find yourself hesitating when opportunity knocks, ask yourself, what am I truly afraid of? Is it the fear of losing money, the fear of being judged, the fear that my body may fail me, the fear of growing old and irrelevant, the fear of dying before fulfilling my purpose? When you dig deep enough, you will always find one of these roots. Write it down, speak it aloud, be precise, be ruthless, name the enemy, say to yourself, I am afraid of poverty, or I am afraid of what others will say. Say it without shame or apology. There is tremendous power in acknowledgement, because what you refuse to face will dominate you, but what you confront openly begins to shrink. Fear, once named, loses its ability to control your subconscious mind. It becomes something you can examine, understand, and ultimately defeat. It becomes a problem to solve rather than a prison to endure. Naming your fear does not make you weak. It makes you strong. It makes you wise. It arms you with the clarity needed to formulate your attack. Refuse to battle an invisible enemy. Drag your fear into the open. Name it, study it, and see it for what it is, a small and shrinking thing, not worthy of the life and the dreams it has tried to steal from you. Once named, fear can be measured. Once measured, it can be mastered, and once mastered, it can be destroyed forever. The human mind is like a powerful engine, capable of producing anything it is directed toward with enough intensity and focus. But just like an engine requires fuel and a destination, the mind requires purpose. Without a definite purpose, the mind wanders, aimlessly becoming a breeding ground for fear, doubt, confusion, and despair. Purpose is the compass. Purpose is the engine spark. It is the force that gives life direction, energy, and meaning. When the mind is empty of strong, clear purpose, it becomes vulnerable to every passing thought, every whisper of fear, every criticism from the outside world. A mind without a goal is like a ship without a rudder, tossed helplessly by every wave and storm that life throws its way. But when the mind is obsessed with a major purpose, fear has no room to take root. Doubt cannot find a foothold. Worry becomes irrelevant. Every thought is harnessed and channeled toward the fulfillment of that great mission. It is not enough to simply wish for something. Wishes are weak. Wishes are fleeting. A definite purpose is a decision backed by the full force of your mind, your emotions, and your will. It is a white, hot obsession, a demand that refuses to be denied. When your purpose is clear and you hold it in your mind with unwavering focus, you become magnetized. Opportunities are drawn to you. Ideas find you. People align with you. The universe itself begins to move at your command because you are no longer moving timidly. You are moving with the certainty of a man or woman who knows exactly where they are going. Think of your mind as a room. If it is empty, fear will fill it without permission. But if it is crowded with definite purpose, burning desire, and unwavering determination, there is simply no space left for fear to exist. Purpose acts like sunlight in a dark room. Fear dissolves in its presence. Every morning you must flood your mind deliberately with thoughts of your purpose. Visualize it, feel it, speak it, let it dominate your imagination, let it drive your actions. Purpose must not be something you visit once a week or once a month. It must become the central fact of your existence. It must be the reason you rise, the reason you work, the reason you endure. When you flood your mind with a definite purpose, you create an impenetrable armor against fear. Fear shrinks before the man who knows exactly what he wants and is willing to do everything necessary to get it. The world makes way for such a person. Opposition fades. Criticism becomes meaningless. Obstacles turn into stepping stones. Remember this: you cannot think about fear when your entire mind is consumed with your mission. You cannot hesitate when your heart beats with the urgency of a burning desire. The mind, fully occupied by purpose, becomes a fortress no enemy can penetrate. Fill your mind so completely with your vision, your goal, your mission, that fear finds itself homeless. Unwelcome and forgotten, fear feeds on hesitation. Every moment you delay, every second you stand still when you know you should move, you give fear new strength. Fear grows in the cracks of indecision. It multiplies in the silent spaces where action should have been taken but wasn't. The mind, left to wander without immediate and decisive action, begins to create monsters far worse than any reality you would have faced. The truth is simple: action cures fear. When you act boldly, swiftly, without endless questioning, you shatter the illusions that fear has built in your mind. You prove to yourself again and again that most of the things you dread hold no real danger at all. They are only shadows puffed up by your own delay. There is immense power in moving quickly. Decisions, when guided by purpose and faith, must be made without endless hesitation. A mind that overanalyzes, that demands certainty before every step, is a mind inviting fear to sit at the decision-making table. Certainty is a myth. There will never be a perfect moment. There will never be a time when you feel fully ready. Waiting for perfect conditions is a silent form of surrender. Action, even imperfect action, creates momentum, and momentum itself is a force that fear cannot withstand. When you act immediately, you seize control of your own mind. You tell fear, "You are not my master." You declare through your movement that you are the creator of your destiny. Every small step forward sends a signal to your subconscious mind that you are in command, and with each bold move, confidence grows, courage strengthens, and fear diminishes. Great achievements are never the result of careful hesitation. They are born out of bold decisions and swift actions. History remembers the men and women who chose to leap, not those who stood on the sidelines, paralyzed by overthinking. Opportunities rarely wait. They present themselves for a fleeting moment and then vanish into the hands of those courageous enough to act. Action is the bridge between thought and accomplishment. Without it, even the grandest dreams wither and die. Without it, faith has no means of expression. Without it, purpose remains nothing more than a wish. To destroy fear forever, you must condition yourself to move, even when you feel uncertain, even when your heart races and your mind hesitates. Especially then, train yourself to act decisively, to trust the power within you, to know that you can adjust and correct your course as you go. Action brings clarity, action builds strength, action transforms fear from a roaring lion into a whimpering mouse. You will never conquer fear by thinking about it. You will never overcome hesitation by waiting for a perfect plan. You will only win when you step forward, boldly and bravely, staking your claim to the life that belongs to you. Fear loses all power in the presence of relentless, determined, immediate action. You were not born with fear. You learned it, and anything learned can be unlearned. Today, commit with me, recognize fear, name it, fill your mind with purpose, take bold action, and build your fortress of faith so strong that fear has no way in. You are the master of your fate. You are the captain of your soul. Destroy fear forever and live the life you were meant to lead. Thank you.